What up, YouTube world? My name is Sarad Noor. Making my first video. This is gonna be a walk-away video. Hopefully, this doesn't last too long. I just want to chime in and just wait a little bit while I'm walked away from the Democratic Party. I'm not a Republican, not a conservative. If you can label me anything, I'm a libertarian or independent, a true libertarian. I'm not one of those people that say I'm a libertarian. Well, no, not libertarian. I'm independent, but they always voting Democrat. I seem to get to talking to them type of people on Facebook all the time. But I just wanted to say the reason I'm walk away from the Democratic Party mainly because the Democratic Party doesn't hold any values that benefit the black community at all. Not whatsoever. It's ridiculous. But just to give a little background on me, I came from a small town called Marion, Arkansas. Suburbs of Memphis, Marion, West Memphis / Marion, West Memphis. I worked on a lot of political campaigns. Hold on one second. Yeah, like I was saying, I grew up in a town called Marion / West Memphis, 7 miles south, 7 miles west of the border of Memphis. Only thing separated us was a river. Basically, but yeah, I've been growing up in politics all my life. My dad was a justice of the peace in West Memphis. I helped run on several campaigns, like Ben McGee's state representative campaign. Well, I didn't help. I helped try to elect him, and he did get elected. But my father had me early in politics, taught me about politics. But it was all I knew was vote Democrat, vote Democrat. We black people vote Democrats, basically. But I used to pass out flyers, work at the election offices and everything. I used to hang out with state representatives, lawyers. My father was probably the biggest bail bondsman in Crittenden County ever. Eastern Arkansas, pretty much everybody knew my father in the state. Seen Bill Clinton, Al Gore, I want to say Jesse Jackson, all came to my church because I went to Temple of Deliverance, Bound for Blessings, the largest black church in Memphis growing up. And like I used to see them come around election time and speak all the time. It was like almost normal. You know, all the Fords, it was a million of them. They all kind of looked the same too. They were in the political office. Everybody knew they were corrupt. They were all doing something crazy and corrupt all the time. But yeah, just growing up, and you was always taught to vote Democrat. You know, just the thing. Hey, you vote Democrat. Black people vote Democrats. That was simple as that. My dad didn't ever talk about anybody being coons or anything like that or sellout. But he would call people that were like the quote-unquote Uncle Toms and stuff, handkerchief heads and all that type of crazy stuff. But my dad was pretty cool. He was, like I said, a bail bondsman in the town. But I grew up, and then I got to college and I used to watch. I was like one of the only ones. I was weird though, because I listened to rap and all that. I was just like a normal black teenager growing up, then going to HBCU. But I always listened to sports talk radio, and then I got interested into news talk. I used to listen to George Norrie. Late at night on the AM, like only young black dudes listen to AM radio. And but I grew up, and then I got to college. I just watched CNN all the time. Everybody used to come ask me like, what's going on in like the general news and stuff, because I keep up with it. Then I remember when 9/11 hit, and I remember my partner coming to my room telling me, because they knew I was all on CNN, you know. And then I started to do a lot of research, and I used to always wonder like why were countries always attacking Israel? Why were they always attacking Israel? Why did they hate Israel so much? You know, and that made me wonder, because in church, also I grew up in Church of God in Christ. It also made me wonder why they attacking, because Pastor Bishop G. Patterson and all the pastors always say pray for Israel, pray for Israel. And so I started to get interested in politics. So I started digging and research, and I found out that the state of Israel was created like in 1947. And, you know, that was weird. You know, I found out about the Palestinian plight and all that type of stuff, you know, and found out a little bit what was going on. Then I got into the pro-black phase. I probably had a degree in pro-black YouTube, because I was working at a company called HP, and we had zero policy. Like, we didn't have an internet policy, so we could watch whatever the hell we wanted to all day, as long as we did our work. While everybody else was watching movies and playing video games on the computer and playing Candy Crush, I was watching Bobby Hemmett videos, Dr. John Henry Clark. I was watching Sarnetta TV. I was watching Steve Coakley. I was watching everybody. Any name you can think of. I watched pretty much every video Malcolm X produced, every video Martin Luther King produced. Oh, I forgot. Also, my dad took me to see the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan when I was probably about 12 or 13 years old. So even though our family was Christian, he Farrakhan liked his message and he wanted me to see that, you know. So we went and saw him, and that stuck with me still to this day. But also, like I said, I was watching everything, and I started to gain knowledge. And then I started checking out other things too. Like I don't know how, I think I got on to InfoWars when I saw one of Alex Jones' videos, Endgame, I think. And people hate on Alex Jones a lot. And he does a lot of weird stuff, and a lot of satire, and a lot of, I think he plays the camera a lot and overreacts on purpose. But people can't deny he be dropping facts all day. There's a lot of stuff I don't like about him, but he's dropping facts. You can't deny that. And everybody that's on YouTube that's coming with wokeness or anything like that, a lot of times you don't watch Alex Jones' videos, so you can't never hate on Alex Jones. That's one thing I can say about dude. Yeah, it's like a complete clown sometimes, but dude's OG though. You can't hate on dude though, for real. But I started watching all that, and I would fact check stuff by going back, reading articles, reading books. Whenever they say something that sound weird or something, I go back and I'll go pull up a link through Google or Bing, and I'll pull up a link just to check, and I start reading different sources on information. I'm like, oh, this dude ain't lying. And then a lot of times, what you didn't know, like the people that'll say, like the white nationalists, whatever they call white nationalists and racists, and then you go to your fringes on both sides of the black community and the white community, they basically were talking about the same thing. They all talking about the Fed Reserve. They were talking about that one set of people, can't say their name because you don't get banned. And they were talking about, they knew the problem to what was going on in the country, and they both zero around the same thing. So I kept doing my research. And then I got to the phase where I figured out that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party as a whole were pretty much the same coin, just different sides. One was heads, one was tails. And I figured out they were playing us. And you could tell that, I used to always say, they keep you arguing about social issues. They used to back in the day, they didn't give a shit about social issues. As long as they kept you away from the financial issues and what's going on with the wars, as long as you mess with the war money and the financial stuff, they'll let us argue about gay rights, anything, sexual rights, anything that they have, as long as it was social, as long as it had to do with the money or the wars. And then I was off the train. I was pretty much off. I was a really libertarian. I was real independent. Then Ron Paul, I was really digging Ron Paul's message because it seemed like he told the truth. He was honest all the time, and I was really digging Ron Paul. I was so Ron Paul, I had a Ron Paul sticker on my Merc with 24-inch rims, and I had a Ron Paul sticker. People would trip out there, see a black dude with a car with big rims on the ride down the street, then have a Ron Paul sticker on it. But it was always talking points. I used to always get people honking their horn, thumbs up. People stop me at the gas station like, you a Ron Paul supporter? Like, yeah. Then we get to start talking politics. Then I would get people in the hood, my black people I knew, they'll see me, Ron Paul, ain't he racist? That's the first thing, ain't he racist? Because they didn't know anything about politics. They just knew what they saw on like CNN, MSNBC, and their local hip hop station. And I explained to him how I felt that he wasn't racist or whatnot. And so, but Obama, he came and ran. And I remember my brother was like, hey man, Obama ain't gonna do nothing, Obama this, Obama that. I ain't voting for him. My brother's super pro-black. Super pro-black. All vegetarian. Won't go to church, won't do nothing. I'm talking about he's super pro-black. Unks, all that. He's probably one of your super hotels, but he cool. My brother real trio. And he was like, I ain't voting for Obama, I wasn't there, you know. So I was like, man, I'm voting for Obama. He gotta be something different. He black, he's saying this, he's saying he gonna be something different. He really had me fooled like, he gonna do something. He gonna do something right. He's gonna do. I takes some time from them. You got to get them textbooks, translators. That takes work from you. Say if you got, in one neighborhood, you just say you got 100 spots for housing. And say if you got 10 illegal alien families come over, and they get 10 of those housing spots. That's taking 10 away from 10 black people that probably needed that are legal here. So you're taking away from the black community. Then you put a strain on the resources right there in our community. So how does that help us? Then you put a strain because you bring all the legal people, illegal aliens over here, and then they're coming in the neighborhood. That's going to create, when you got a whole different group of people, again, with the younger people, that's going to create animosity and strife because you're bringing people in here that don't hold the same values. And when you have people with different values, you're going to have problems. As simple as that. So I like people to explain to me, how does illegal immigration and pushing illegal immigration help the black community? I'm still waiting on that. Then also with the gun control crap. Okay? All I got to say is, like, and you're going to get tired of people saying this, look at DC. Look at Chicago. Total gun ban. Pretty much, I ain't gonna say total, but pretty much damn near total gun ban. Look at all the crime in Chicago. Look at all the crime in DC. How does having gun bans help the black community again? And I like to ask. Democrats want to push for gun control, more gun control, more gun control. Where are they gonna police this gun control at? Where are they gonna push the issue at? They gonna push the issue in the black community, just like drugs. When they did a war on drugs, where did the war on drugs happen? It didn't happen in suburbia and white suburbia, even though they say white suburbia uses more drugs than anybody. White people bring the drugs in. Rich white people bring the drugs in. But they enforce the drug laws in the poor black communities and arrest black people for the drugs, even though white community, white suburbia has way more money to buy weed, cocaine, heroin, any kind of prescription pills they want. They don't enforce it there. So you think they're going to enforce gun laws in the white suburbia? No, they're going to go in the black community and enforce those gun laws. And they're going to lock up, guess what? More black people. And then 20 years from now, they'll be apologizing. Democrats had their way and they won. Then they'll be apologizing about, we're sorry, we didn't mean to do that. We didn't know it was going to have an effect. Yes, you did, because I'm telling you now. Just like with the 94 crime bill. I was 14 at the time. I didn't know much about it. I didn't know what was going on. But Bill Clinton, one of you great Democrats, locked up more black people than any other president. And black Democrats hate to hear that. They hate to hear that, and they try to start making all the type of excuses or whatnot for them doing it. That's number two why I don't vote for Democrats. And another problem I don't like Democrats for. Number three. The attack on Christianity. Even though I don't go to church no more, I don't call myself a Christian, but I still respect Christianity because I grew up in it and it gave me a lot of basis in life and taught me a lot of the right things. But I don't call myself a Christian because just how the church is guided and how it's perverted and how it's almost like a buffoon show basically. But I still respect it because a lot of people living the Christian life and living the real and really are about that life. Like my mom, like I grew up in a house. My mom really lived a Christian life. I never did see one thing of alcohol in the house when I was growing up. Even though my dad drank, I never did see one beer in the refrigerator. I never see one liquor bottle in the refrigerator. My mom didn't smoke and drink. My mom didn't curse. I thought she really lived a Christian life. And I thought everybody lived like this. They went to church. But I came to find out as I was getting older, and they didn't. My mom didn't go to nightclubs. My mom didn't go to casinos. We didn't even play cards. My mom wouldn't even allow us to listen to BET and MTV. Growing up, I had my own whip. When I was 15, I had to hide all my rap CDs. And I had to leave them in my car under my bed. But I couldn't have rap CDs and crap out in my room. If my mom found them, she'd throw them away. You know what I'm saying? So I had to hide. So she really lived that Christian life. And to see how the Democratic Party attacks Christians now is just ridiculous. Just like even with the guys up there, I think in the northwest part of the country, where they're baking the cake with that whole deal. And how they try to attack Christianity just because, say, hey, I don't agree with a certain lifestyle that a person lives, you attack them for it. Why can't they have their own views? If that's them, let them be them. You know what I'm saying? You can't discriminate against them for having their views on that lifestyle. And the next reason I had to walk away from the Democratic Party is with the whole LGBT thing, because I see that too, how they're using those people. They don't care nothing about it. Just like they don't care about illegal immigration, illegal aliens, they don't care about the LGBT community for real. Because if they did, you wouldn't want to ban guns, because the LGBT community needs guns to protect themselves from people that are hating on them or discriminating against them. You know what I'm saying? Also trying to make a divide, but also just trying to push certain lifestyles on people. If that's what you want to do and live your life, that's fine. You should be totally left alone. Because like I said, I'm a libertarian. But it's another thing to start pushing this stuff on kids while they're in school. And that's just not right. It's just not right. We don't push polygamy on children in school. We don't teach them about polygamy in school. And people still do that. And it's nothing in the Bible, quote unquote, to tell you that's wrong for real. You know. So if you're not pushing polygamy in school, you shouldn't be pushing no other type of lifestyles in schools on kids. Let kids get older and make the choices the way they want to, and trying to push it and force it. That's my problem when you push and force stuff. If something's gonna happen, let it happen organically. Don't try to push it on us. That's another problem I have with the Democratic Party. And with our community, say the black community, we're already 70% children being born out of wedlock. Why don't you promote things that necessarily break up the family, or the nuclear family, where you could grow your population? And also, why would the Democratic Party, who brought in with, I think that was FDR, I forgot now, Johnson with the New Deal, when he started pushing when he brought in the welfare state, and he said he was gonna have us vote for the Democrats for the next couple hundred years. He knew what he was doing when he broke in. As a Democrat, he broke up the black family by pushing welfare and housing on our communities. That was the Democrat Party again who did that. They did that and broke up the family and tried to break up the family. Because before that came in, we were 70%. It was the direct opposite. The black families children being born into wedlock at around 70%, more than the white community. The white community. But when he pushed in, I guess that was the New Deal or whatever it was called, and he started providing the welfare and the housing, and all that crap, it helped destroy the family. And then you start seeing the black family break up just so that woman can get a check. And then Reagan, and people love Reagan, but when I grew up, I don't see too much positive about Reagan. Reagan came in and pushed the crack in. So it was part Democrat, part Republican. They came in and pushed the crack cocaine in the community to help just go and finish us off. Now we at that steady. I believe they're measuring us at a 12% population. But, it is what it is. But those are a couple of my points on why I walked away from the Democratic Party. And like I like to tell people all the time, just say at face value, if the Democrats and the Republicans both say, hey, we're not going to do nothing for black people. We're not going to do nothing at all. Okay? Just on face value, if you lay out the facts and take all the emotions out of it, Republican policies benefit black people more. And you can just go off two things: illegal immigration and gun control. Allowing Democrats' stance on legal immigration hurts the black community. More gun control hurts the black community. Just like those two stances alone. Abortion, Democrats are pro-abortion. I'm one of those ones where I'm like a libertarian. I'm neither for or against it, because I don't have clean hands in that whole, let me just put it that way. My hands are not clean in that whole situation. That's a different subject, but like I said, I can't criticize something because the #1 killer in the black community, more children die in the womb, and hey, I'm complicit in that too. So I can't sit there and say I'm holier than thou. So I'm kind of on the fence. I think it's some things on that. That's a discussion I'll have in another video. But when you got the #1 killer of black people is abortion, and people try to argue, it ain't no arguing with it. You gotta think, why are Democrats pushing it so hard? And they always try to talk about the Republicans are the real racists. Think about why are they pushing it so hard? If the Republicans are the real racists, and you know the number one killer of black people are abortions, you would think the Republicans would be pushing it, and not the Democrats, don't you think? If Republicans are the real racists. Just think about that for a second. Why would the Democrats push something and push agenda so hard and fight tooth and nail for if it's the number one killer in black people, but they say they love black people so much? Think about that for a second, because it don't make sense. And y'all do know the Democratic Party was the original party of the Klan. There was so many Democrats at one of those DNC conventions. It was up there in New York, I want to say. They called it the Klan bait. The KKK was the military wing of the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? Democrats voted against, well, they fought against blacks having guns back after we were free as slaves. It was Republicans that fought for black people to be able to arm themselves, to protect themselves. You know what I'm saying? Also, that's another thing I had to say. If you're a Democrat and you one of the ones that every day you pop up is some so racist that Trump and the Republicans are doing, is police shooting us around every corner, is racist everywhere, we can't hide because of racism, why in the hell would you want to give up your guns? Let me know that. Let me know that. Why would you want to give up your guns? Tell me that. If you got all these racist, evil, bad people after you, why would you want to give up your guns? Tell me that, please. I'll wait. What sense does that make you give up all your guns and you want to have more gun laws and give up guns? The only people going to have guns are police, which in the United States, I don't even know. I'm going to go find stats on that. You probably got a lot majority of white people are police officers. So you got white police officers have all the guns. If shit hit the fan and shit went down, guess who's going to have the guns? White police officers. Guess what they going to give them to? They white friends and their militia buddies and all the other white guys in the military. That's what's going to happen. So, yeah, think about that. That's another one you want to sit there and ponder on. If it's so racist and so evil, and Republican racists are hiding everywhere behind trees, why in the hell would you want to give up your guns? I'm trying to think. And then if you in the black community say, hey, I'm not moving that community, I want to make it get better. I don't want it to be gentrified. And I'm trying to make it better. Don't you think if you want good black people trying to make your neighborhood better, don't you need guns to protect yourself? Oh, another one I got to hit y'all with. Think about this. Republicans so racist, right? And Democrats love y'all. Who are all the people that's gentrifying the black communities? Think about it. While I sip. Who gentrifying the black communities? It's not those white racist Republicans that y'all talk about, them conservatives. The so-called white racist Trump Republicans, them the type that move out. From where I'm from, they move out in the sticks, in the country, in the woods. And they might have 4 or 5 acres, 10 acres that they grandma and grandpa left them. They'll put a trailer on it, and they be living life, chilling with a big ass F-150 or 1500 Silverado lifting and shit. But they be out there in the country by their damn self doing what the fuck they want to do. They not bothering nobody. They want to be left alone. It's those white, liberal, Starbucks drinking, bicycle riding, Yorkie, dragging around dog, beard wearing skinny jeans, plaid shirts, with I'm with her stickers on their Priuses. Those are the ones gentrifying the black communities, drinking Starbucks every day. Those are the ones gentrifying the hood. It's not those so-called racist white Republicans. Think about it. You don't see white dudes with Confederate flags on and Confederate shirts with lifted trucks coming into the cities and buying up all the homes. No, you don't. They stay out there and they stay out in their little suburb, small communities, and they want to be left the fuck alone. That's basically what it is. It's those little Starbucks drinking, Prius driving, I'm with her, coexist sticker having on their car, people with their little bikes, and they eat the little vegetarian shops, and they can't change a flat tire. Them type of white people, liberal Democrats that claim they're so not racist, they're the ones that come into your hoods, gentrified. Then they put their little charter schools and their private schools smack in the middle of your hood, put the coffee shops there, and put the little Starbucks, and put the little bookstores and their little bars there. And then they stereotype you and push you out of the hood and raise the rent up. And they have their little tech jobs, and they put y'all out y'all communities. Think about that. But that's all I gotta say. But that's the reason I'm walking away. You'll see a lot more from my channel soon, but I'm gonna upload this for the first time. This is my first video, so if it's not up to par, it's gonna get better. I'm gonna give Mike, get the lighting and all that soon, because I got something to say. And I'll tell y'all a little bit more about my life here soon. I'm a bail bondsman too. I'll let y'all know a little bit more about that. I'm gonna holler at y'all.